Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have a talk on continuous clearing auctions. And we're going to be hearing from Kite, who's research scientist at Uniswap Labs. Please join me in welcoming Kite to the stage.
Thank you. All right, OK. Hello, guys. My name is Kite. I'm a research scientist at Uniswap Labs. Very happy to talk about CCA with you guys today, where we are exploring a new mechanism for continuous price discovery and fair on-chain participations. So we see a lot of new and low liquidity tokens are looking to build liquidities. These is right now primarily occurring on centralized exchanges with extractive fees. We often see centralized exchanges can charge upwards of up to 10% of token supply to work with them. You often need to work with professional market makers. Initial liquidity is often provided by these sophisticated market makers who can dump at any time. These are usually involve some opaque agreements, which is often, most of the time, unclear of the details behind the launch, biasing towards the insiders. And you would think that the opaque markets with extractive middlemen issues could be solved with on-chain solutions. At least that's the hope. However, we do see that the shortcoming with these, there's a lot of shortcomings with what we see currently on the markets of these on-chain liquidity bootstrapping models, starting with airdrops. I guess the first thing when I talked about airdrops is always bot farmings. A lot of issues with that. There's empirical academic papers that studies a lot of major airdrop events. And what we see is that more than 2/3 of the tokens through airdrop is being sold immediately after claim, which creates these immediate dumping issues. And then we don't really have price discovery with airdrop events. Moving to the next level, we can have some sort of fixed price sales. The main issues with fixed price sales is how do you actually determine that fixed price? If you set the price too high, you have under-subscription issues. If you set the price too low, you have over-subscription issues. Then the problem becomes how do you actually allocate when you have over-subscriptions? Depends on how exactly you want to run that. Their mine creates priority races, that mine creates gas wars. Then on the next layer, you might think, oh, we can do some sort of auctions which we can try to do this price discovery. The overall issues with auctions is that you have these strategic weighting. The informations, no one really have incentive to share informations, to review informations until last minute. And then we have these like more crypto-native bounding curves, which are really exposed to MEV exploitations, which are exploring to timing sensitivities. So the common thread of all these is that the existing mechanism that we see today really reward timing and sophistications over genuine valuations, which creates opportunity for manipulations. And we don't really see immediate sustainable liquidity right after the launch. So what we imagine a better on-chain approach should really prioritize fairness. What we mean that is that people should really compete on valuations, but not timing or technical sophistications. It should be transparent. We should have real-time visibility into this price discovery process. Ideally, we have credible price discovery that the final price, whatever this final price we determine on-chain, is going to reflect actual demand without manipulations. We want there to be on-chain liquidity for the secondary market. We want it to be decentralized. We don't want there to be gatekeepers. So this is what we claim that Uniswap's CCA, the continuous clearing auction protocol, delivers. So what is CCA? If I have to explain it in one sentence, I would say CCA is a continuous time uniform price auction where supply is released over time on a schedule. At every moment, we try to clear the demand against that supply at one price for everyone. Very hard to understand within the one sentence, but let me give you an example. So suppose we're running an auction that, say, the token team is supplying 1,000 tokens over the full block auction. So this is so each block we have 250 tokens available. So this is the supply is going to as a schedule part. I think a really good mental model to have is imagining we have this swimming pool that we need to fill water in, that we have this, in whatever shape of the swimming pool, we need to fill water in. And then this 1,000 tokens over 4 blocks just tells you what the shape of the swimming pool is. All right, and then now we have some users coming in, and then the user says, oh, I have some budgets that I'm willing to allocate, and I have some willingness to pay for each marginal unit. And suppose we have this Alice that says I have $800 to spend. For each tokens, I'm not going to spend more than $3 on them. What the protocol is going to do is the protocol is going to spread across all future auction blocks. So the 800 is going to split into 4 different $200 budgets for all the future remainings. How do we determine how to split that? It's based on the supply schedule. Right? So in the supply schedule, we say in the next 4 blocks, it's equally equivalent for all 4 blocks. So we split the 800 equally across the 4 blocks for Alice. Going back to the analogy of the swimming pool, you can imagine if you have a bucket of water and then you want to pour it into the swimming pool, what happens is that the water will be leveled throughout the swimming pool. That's basically saying that we want to do the same thing. Once someone comes with a bucket of water and they want to pour into the swimming pool, we just spread across all the future periods. All right, and then so we split Alice bit into 4 blocks. Let's zoom in into this first block. What happened is that in this first block, Alice demand becomes, I want to spend $200. So you can actually draw this demand curve for Alice, and you can specify at every single point how much does Alice want. You can expect that if the price is above $3, Alice doesn't want anything. If the price is below, then Alice wants some allocation, some tokens. You can do this for every single participant in this market. Suppose you have an Alice, and then you have a Bob. Then you can aggregate all these different demands from each individual users. So the protocol is going to do that. The protocol is going to define Alice and Bob's ask in this block. And then you can aggregate everyone's ask. Then you have your market overall demand. Hopefully at this point it triggers some Econ 101 demand and supply curve memories. But basically we now have the demand curve. We know how much tokens people want at this block. What we also know is that we have 250 tokens we want to sell in this block. So what can we do with this supply and demand curve is that we can find that one specific price that is going to clear all the tokens I want, and then such that it really fills up what people's demand is. Then this is that $1.4. So if we sell at $1.4, we can sell 250 tokens to the people who would like to have it. So the protocol is going to do this for every single block during the auction. So suppose we have a 5-day auction, we're just going to have every single block. We're going to try to do this exercise, and then we're trying to find a price discovery happening. So we already done this. We launched CCA last December, and we do already see some actions. For example, here, what I'm plotting on the x-axis is day. So we go from December 1st, 2nd, all the way to December 6th, this 5-day auctions. And on the y-axis is that clearing price. It's that 1.4 that we found in each block. And I'm just plotting it continuously along each different block. So each block, we try to find a price. And then this is that entire price discovery history of that auction. And we were very happy that Aztec is our first partner. And very luckily, they're right in front of us. So what we see in the Aztec CCA is that 99% of the users contributed under 100K. So we really see this like wide distribution of the tokens. And then in total, we see more than 17,000 different bidders with more than 20,000 different bids across time. And in total, at the time of the East price, they raised more than $60 million in this CCA process. So that's what we see in the past December. And then envision many more to come. And then if you have any questions or if you want to learn more, there's a white paper on the website. There's also a Uniswap front end available for you to discover different CCA auctions that are happening in real time. OK, thank you guys.